sure I can have a baby after 45. Let me throw these chicken bones. I never thought I'd have a blonde American wife. But when I brought you that ranch dressing, I knew I'd be your dipping sauce for life.
I booked a dream vacation on a tropical isle. I only wanted to bone.
Oh, how could I have known that I'd wind up knocked up and really pissed? Oh, love in paradise, we're planting a banana tree. Love in paradise, have you heard of polyamory? I swear that I can see forever in your giant dick. Love in paradise. It's the size of my arm. Fade it, Gary. Wonderful, wonderful. Best Actor Award in this episode goes to the jeweler who helped Frankie.
That guy's seen people get killed. He's seen people get killed in front of his face.
I know. Had to have.
He's seen some blood diamond shit.
That man knew secrets and was interrogated.
Yeah.
By someone.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't break.
Didn't flinch. Didn't
Yeah,
flinch.
I'm going down to marry her. I've been with her 5 days. Oh.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's
fine.
Probably more than anybody we've ever seen. I mean, because what was the other jeweler? Who was that? That was
it was after lockup, I believe.
No, it was.
There was a woman who goes, "Can I help you find something?"
Oh, the jeweler with Jorge
George
and Infisa.
Yes,
I call him Jorge. Who was it? I think Kim calls him Jorge because his mom calls him Jorge. That's what
guess.
Kim said.
We do that already, and I just don't want to. I guess I don't know. I just don't want to. He says he wants to be called that. That's why I was doing that.
He should be called stupid.
Well, that's true.
It's true.
That jeweler was. He also says that later on she does have a girlfriend, and the guy goes, "Oh, okay."
He just kind of goes
like you just said. The bus station's down there,
and then he just kind of says, "So, what are you thinking here?"
I know he goes right back to it.
What these look good? Like
he goes right back to it.
What are you thinking? And Frankie,
y'all. This is Lip. This is Love in Paradise, episode 2. My girlfriend's girlfriend.
My girlfriend's girlfriend. My girlfriend's girlfriend. The kids is dad, but with the girlfriend's girlfriend.
The kids is dad.
The kids are kids is. God,
Episode
this show
2,
is good.
We are delving into these ridiculous people's lives even more. First thing we need to say, we've had a blast so far on 2 dates of our Summer Should Be Fun. We are now in Minneapolis doing this from my hotel room.
We are in Minneapolis. I love this city. I
it's a
love
beautiful
this city.
My grinder's blowing up again. So Detroit was an outlier. I don't know what happened in Detroit. Columbus, best reception I've ever had. I actually read some of the Grinder diary that I had in Columbus.
It's official. We loved Columbus. You did.
And so did my apps.
They did, but Poodle said, "I love this city." He won't admit that he said it, but he did say it.
I was not recorded. I was recorded saying, "I don't hate it."
You told me.
As I told the Detroit audience.
The words "love."
I don't remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have it. Unless you have me as on paper with signed by a notary public, I will deny.
All right. Well, this is our last Love in Paradise show on our free feed, y'all.
Yes.
After this, it's going to go to the Patreon or Supercast at $5 tier. It's on Discovery Plus, and then when it comes out in like 3 months, you'll
hear it on your.
So if you want to hear the rest and you don't want to pay the money, that's fine.
That's fine too.
You can wait, and you got a little tease, and then later you'll find it out.
You know what's a good use of money though? Coming to our live show. Tomorrow night in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
We're at the Varsity Theater.
The Varsity Theater.
We are preparing. Y'all, you know how we do a song for every city we're in.
Will there be sports people there? The varsity. Well, we have men in like varsity sweaters who just carry us in.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's going to be pretty much women.
All right.
Pretty sure that's normally our audience.
Yeah.
And they're drag their boyfriends and husbands and the occasional gay guy who went to the wrong place.
Pretty much.
And occasionally we have had straight men who enjoy the show who bring their wives.
We do.
And they're like, I really enjoyed this, but he's the one who brought me. And I'm like, are you a unicorn?
We had a straight man in a kilt last night, and I was aroused.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Boy.
He knows who he is.
It helped invigorate my Scottish blood. Brought me back to my roots.
I've got some in me, too. I wasn't born with it, though. It's weird. Anyway,
yes,
come
to our
and
live
see
shows.
us in Minneapolis.
And
then we have a show in
San
Phoenix.
Francisco. Phoenix. I
In
keep forgetting
Phoenix
about
on
Phoenix.
Wednesday of next week, which is the 20th? No, it's not.
And
22nd.
22nd. We're sorry. I have decided we are related to X-Men from Storm because we just bring inclement weather because Minneapolis has been beautiful, and then tomorrow it's going to be 100 degrees for 2 days.
Oh, Jesus.
And then when we leave, it's beautiful again.
I do have to say, it's been fun on this tour so far.
It's been a lot of fun.
I've really enjoyed it.
We've had a really good time.
Besides the weather, besides the fact that the AC in the venue in Columbus was broken, and
Fine.
I needed
What
to
it is.
wipe the sweat off my face repeatedly with a shirt that was given to me.
Your foundation just came right off. Just slid off his face like a twink
I
lubed
looked
up
like I was melting.
on a leather bed.
So
That was descriptive and true.
anyway, and also San Francisco on the 23rd. That's our big
Oh,
Pride
yeah.
show.
Yeah, he keeps looking at his phone, y'all. He's going to have sex in here. You know why? Because it's a pretty room, and there's a mirror where he can see himself getting...
Don't think that did not.
Oh,
I
know.
noticed it.
I know your game book.
They're coming here.
I know. They're coming here, and
And
I'm
there's a
going
window.
elsewhere.
There's a great window to be thrown up against it while
You know,
someone's
I
thrusting.
do enjoy a window to look out from while I'm being pummeled. I don't mind it.
There's a nice landing too.
There is
that
landing.
I could kind of squish myself onto.
It's true. I have much love for Minneapolis, St. Paul, the Twin Cities. My mother lived here for several years, so I've been here quite often. And once when my law office was suing Wells Fargo, we came for the headquarters. I was here for a couple of weeks. But I love the city. Wonderfully nice people. Can't find a fresh vegetable in sight, but the best damn steak you'll ever have.
Really? Oh, there has to be
Oh,
vegetables.
no, you can. You can find some. Oddly enough, I had really good lobster here. Go figure. Maybe it's in the Mississippi.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
You don't eat lobster here.
It was the best lobster roll I've ever had in my life. And I've had a lobster roll in Maine.
Maybe it was frozen.
I'm assuming, unless they have lobster in the Mississippi.
Y'all,
Do they have lobster in the Mississippi?
Don't eat lobster in the middle of the country.
I know. I think that's just an old thing. I think you can do it in other places
Maybe
now.
I'm spoiled. Maybe.
Maybe airplanes fly quickly. I don't know. They take a train.
I don't know. I was like I told you. I was raised. We would get lots of seafood when we were near the beach, and then we didn't eat a lot of. We ate freshwater fish, but we didn't eat a lot of saltwater fish. Now stuff like a lot of stuff you get in restaurants, unless it's close to it's frozen. So,
You're going to eat a lot of cheese while you're here. It's amazing
I'm
cheese.
good with cheese. I enjoy cheese.
The worst Mexican food I've ever had in my life was in Minneapolis. So
Wow,
I will
you're
say
coming
that.
for the Mexican food.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't good here. At least what I had.
But I'm saying, you're
But
coming
my
from
mom lived up in
you're
Shoreview. It
coming
wasn't
from-
Minneapolis
You're coming
proper.
from Minneapolis Mexican food.
It wasn't Minneapolis proper. It was up in Shoreview. So anyway.
Can we talk about these people?
Yes, real quick, I do want to remind everybody that, because we always try to say, I was on a collab this week with Gianna DiMedio, her podcast called So Sorry for Your Loss. And yes, it's a podcast about grief and loss. But a lot of you already said, like, I really like her podcast because she's funny and it's not. So if you're going through that or if you just want to listen to it, I think she does a really, in a way, a lighthearted, just a good way of balancing, talking about heavy conversations. And very much like what we say, if you can laugh at it,
Yeah.
you can take it
There's
on.
another podcast like that I listened to for a while called Terrible Thanks for Asking.
Yeah, but I'm not on that, so fuck that show.
But I'm saying it was
No,
a big podcast.
No, that's a great
yeah,
podcast. I've
and she
listened
was
to her.
talking about the
She's
grief that I think her husband died.
Yeah.
And
It's a wonderful, wonderful show.
Yeah.
And we'd love to be on that show, but she's way bigger than us.
sorry, I didn't mean to downplay what you did.
Yeah.
I was just saying that was a show that I thought may be similar.
And she talks about, I think this one's specifically more grief. She started with that, and now it kind of has moved on to other things.
Right,
believe.
she has.
But sorry for your loss. Her father died, Gianna's, and so that's kind of where the impetus for this started. So anyway, we had a really good conversation.
listen to that.
Several of you said you really enjoyed it, so thank you.
Let's talk about gays.
Let's talk about
VaLentine
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm already making a
and
disclaimer.
Carlos.
Y'all, now look. I know this is a big plot point, and I still can't believe that a huge plot point of a couple is that they're two tops. You're right. It's gay rights.
It's gay rights. Completely gay rights.
And I'm going to tell you this right now.
And they keep saying penetrated. They
say the word penetrated. I'm just saying, Carlos, now look, some of you might come for me. Whatever. I'm a gay man. I can do this. I've been here. Carlos.
I think I might come for you the way you're putting this up.
Carlos says he's a top. He's going to be a bossy bottom.
I'm not going to tell anyone. I would like to say I wouldn't tell anyone. She's going to take this.
She's going to be a bossy bottom.
No,
though.
I knew it. As soon as you were saying that, I felt that a little bit. The thing about it is, and this is a shitty way, I feel like, on VaLentine's part, I think he just assumes that's going to happen.
Probably.
It feels that way to me.
Probably.
Because of the way he says, I want to see your ass. I want to see you. And so it felt a little gross to me.
Mm-hmm.
About kind of almost made me feel like he's going to make him do something that he doesn't want to do.
And I don't think, but I feel like eventually Carlos will want to come around, and I'll back up why I feel that way. But yeah, there was a vibe that it does seem like,
it was gross to me. Yeah. And
they're both, though, very personality wise, I think both very alpha men, and they're going to come at each other because I don't think they both, on a way, in some ways, it seems like VaLentine might be a little more compromising on other things than Carlos.
He is.
Because Carlos is going to, he's giving me, I guarantee you, we're going to see some jealousy, like when they're out with other gay men. It's going to be a thing.
I feel like I could be completely wrong. I think these two men define love very differently, and they are not on the same page as that.
No.
Because VaLentine needs a very heavy sensual/sexual relationship with someone to feel love. And so for him, it's been building up to this, like, oh, I know we're going to have a physical connection. And he even said, if it's not physical, I'm out. Mm-hmm. So, and for Carlos, this is all spiritual. This is all emotional. And y'all, this is a value thing. This is very much something where this is a person who sees love as this. I see love this way. These are two different ways.
It's two different ways.
Now, you can blend them and compromise, yes. I don't know how both of these men are at compromising, especially when it comes to love. I don't know if VaLentine is very deep in the way he thinks about love. From what we've seen.
I don't know. I don't know. We haven't... either he's not deep or he is not good at opening up about it. Maybe. And I think that could be a problem. I think Carlos is going to open up much more, well, I would say emotionally, but the way he shuts down VaLentine's sobriety like it should be nothing, I was like, whoa.
Here's the thing. I had the same thing that you thought. I agree that I don't know if VaLentine, if I would say this, it's not that I blame VaLentine for saying, I don't think he ever said, he said, I don't drink. He does not say he was sober. Mm-hmm. Those two things are very different.
I guess, but if someone told me I don't drink.
I agree, but there's also a culture.
Yeah.
It's also a culture thing.
So, yes.
And also, so I think if I was VaLentine, I think I would have said, they've been talking for 2 years. He hasn't opened up to him why he doesn't drink.
Yeah.
Why it was a family thing. Because I think if Carlos heard that, he would say, sure. This is another thing. I don't think they know each other that well. 2 years.
They know each other at all.
So
Jacinta knows that. Isn't that her friend? Yeah, Jacinta's like, I know.
So that's the thing when I go.
And she said VaLentine has a history of these kind of hot and heavy flame out relationships.
And I get it. it's weird for me. It was weird for me for Valentine to assume it was non-alcoholic champagne.
I would have asked.
Right.
Yeah.
It was weird, and then he got mad because, I'm sorry, you can tell if there's alcohol in something right away.
They both handled it terribly.
Yeah.
We're going to get into it.
This felt weird, and felt like they were on very different, that's one thing, they're on very different pages.
That said, and maybe it's just because as a gay man, whenever, he packs up and he leaves, but I was moved a little bit when I saw them together. I thought,
they kissed, and I was kind of surprised.
They went at it too.
That Lego hair is still pissing me off, though.
I know.
So, it's terrible. We have no updates as far as if this is a hair system or not.
We don't know.
On Valentine. Some people have said it's a bad haircut. My thing is how far it's pressed on, and there's actually hair on Valentine's temples.
Yeah.
It's
a lot of hair.
Really pushed forward.
I paused and looked at it. It's faded really well in the back. So if it's a piece or a system, it blends well in the back.
Yeah.
I can't tell. Anyway.
His head is shaved now, by the way.
Yeah.
So someone told him.
So he's packing up to leave. This is before. And so he's like, I'm about to meet the man of my dreams for the first time. So remember, y'all, they've never met in person.
And he's going to propose.
A lot of that's
just, this is absurd.
Yes. Jacinta, even his friend who's taking him, is like, she says, from a 1 to a 10, this is ridiculous. It's not and then she says, it's a 10. It's a 10.
So what did you
think? I loved her.
What did you think when they met? They're like, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. Let me see that ass. And then, Valentine does say, that was one of the most passionate kisses of my life. So I think there's chemistry. But
well, yeah, like he said in the car, he's got pretty feet. He can't wait to lick his toes. Like he's very much into.
But that's what I'm saying. This
his
is
body
all
and his
sensuality.
Stuff, yeah,
that is expression of love for him.
Yeah,
and we haven't necessarily heard him saying his soul, his blah blah blah. Now Carlos has talked about that before.
Yes, yeah.
That's what I keep saying about this is a different type of love, and I don't know if this can be reconciled.
Yes. Well, at least from I don't know if I would say a different type of love because I don't know that yet. But it's definitely very different ways of expressing a love. So
that's what I mean. Yeah.
No, I mean, you could be right. I'm saying we don't know yet fully if, the seat cover almost came. We don't know yet because it makes me wonder, are there conversations fluffy on the phone?
I could not imagine talking to someone for 2 years and never talking about the reason why I didn't drink alcohol.
Because I feel like, if you have these deep conversations, and Valentine is into polyamory.
Yes,
and so he hasn't said this yet, but I know it's going to come out that he's been or was in a relationship in these 2 years. He wasn't. If this man is so sexual, he's not going to not have sex for 2 years. Come on.
That's the thing. Valentine had sex while
he's had been with people, and maybe if he's polyamorous, he doesn't say open, polyamorous, he's been in a relationship possibly with people.
So,
by the way, that song that they played when he walked out was like the most generic royalty-free version of Adele I've ever heard.
The thing about
she's like, sold my soul, and I gave you my heart. Come back to me, heart, back to me. It was Adele.
Never knew love like you before. I look into the wind, I see your face.
Turning.
They have taken a step back for their music budget because I'm sure some producers said, we had Katy Perry last season and that was too much.
Yeah, they bought HBO, so they don't have any money right now. That's it.
Now we're back to it. Instead of Adele, it's Fidel.
It's Fidel. Still a woman, but Fidel.
She's named after Fidel Castro.
Exactly. Yeah, she wears a little hat. Y'all, but that just to remind me a little bit of announcement. We don't know fully, so I don't want you to take this as gospel. If you see it, come at us. We are hearing rumors that 90 Day UK, because we've talked about that show, we're hearing that it's only going to be in the UK. It's not going to be available to the US.
We will find a way to watch.
We're going to still watch it and cover it for our UK listeners where we want to do that, but that's what we're hearing.
And so I guarantee you that Reddit and the sleuths on Reddit will find a way, y'all, because y'all some 90-day dick pigs.
Yes.
And you're going to need your fucking heroin.
Not that we're not all busy enough, y'all, because Southern Charm's coming back, and we are going to be covering that, too.
I don't know.
You don't want to do Southern Charm?
I do, but...
If you want to jump on Married at First Sight instead of Southern Charm, I'll do it.
I want it to be good.
Last season wasn't good.
It was bad.
If it's not good, I will stop it.
Yeah.
I think we've reserved that right now, where if we start a show and it's not good.
I agree. Someone asked me if we were going to cover that Leva show, and I just said no.
No, I like her, but not
Levaland.
interesting enough. I would like her in person, but not on a reality show.
Yeah.
Not interesting. I don't like those restaurant shows. Anyway, go ahead.
So when they're driving, what do you think about when him saying, first of all, what do you think about VaLentine driving in a place he's never been before?
Not intelligent.
I was just like, I think there's a thing where VaLentine has to be the man, very, very like dominant in that way.
Yes.
And where he's like, I'm driving. And
Yes.
I'm thinking, you're driving in Colombia and you've never done that before. And he's freaked the fuck out because as Carlos says, we don't drive. Lanes are a suggestion. Like,
well,
that was what it was in China. I was always surprised.
It is a lot that way in a lot of part of the world,
Yeah.
and I don't think he really. Hell, it was practically that way in Detroit. What the fuck, y'all?
Boy, Detroit drivers.
Y'all just do whatever
Shit.
the fuck you
There
want.
was a woman in front of our Uber driver who literally crossed 2 lanes to turn right in front of us and almost killed us.
And then when he saw him there, she looked at him like, "What?"
She did.
Anyway, but no, I don't think VaLentine does a lot of Googling about.
It's more than that, though, to the chutzpah to say, I'm going to drive in a foreign country. Think what that takes. Just tells you a little bit about what that man is made out of.
Yeah.
To take, it's just... And he has a problem with Carlos saying, be careful. You're driving too fast.
He's saying, well, and Carlos is, I feel like Carlos, though, is like probably a bit anxious, too, in that but Carlos rides a motorcycle. So it's interesting that where VaLentine doesn't want to ride the motorcycle, he's like, I'm not getting on that thing.
Right.
And I think that's probably, he doesn't want to get on the motorcycle because maybe people.
It also looks feminine
but
to be riding.
He doesn't want to hold.
Yes.
So I think
I totally agree with you.
The reason why I think Carlos is a bossy bottom is because I think not for every gay man, I'm going to talk about men in particular because that's what I know more of. Not for every gay man in particular. So don't take this as gospel or come at me and say, this is not my situation. I don't care. I'm talking about them. But I think for some gay people, I've known a lot of gay men, and quite a bit, who didn't bottom or were exclusively tops, and there was a correlation for them with their comfortability with their masculinity, their femininity, being out to everybody. And it was like the more they got comfortable with themselves, the more they were comfortable and just trying more different ways of experiencing sex.
So labels do fluctuate.
And I think that...
But not for us. We are Nelly.
The first time I was with a man, I was like, when are you going to stick it in my butt? I'm ready.
Even though you make fun of this, I can flip if I need to. I swear to God. You know what? If I'm saying it, you should believe me.
Other people...
Fine.
Not you. Anyway, yeah.
You can deny my sexual identity. I'll just sit here.
Sure.
So what do you think? So they did get to his place, and
I actually did feel for VaLentine though, because if anybody's listened to that one episode, I've ridden in the car when I'm driving and you're on the other side, completely freaking out and screaming at me.
This was a different situation, and it's almost like, and I get it that Carlos was, to me, it just felt like, I think if anyone had been in the car and said anything, he would have had a problem with VaLentine. Would have had a problem with
I
this.
think so. I think so.
And Carlos says this is what's weird when they do bring up he has champagne and they get there because so obviously they're gonna have to do something sexual, not gonna like completely have anal sex because they haven't figured that out yet, but they're gonna do something. And he's got champagne, and he says, and that's when Valentine says, well, he's got champagne there, so I assume it's non-alcoholic. To me, maybe I drink alcohol. If I was a sober person, I would say this is non-alcoholic, right?
We've been around sober people that say, even if they know, like you're at a party and you're drinking like non-alcohol, before they hold it up and say, does this have alcohol in it?
Right.
Or even I have friends that have come up, like if I'm cooking something, they'll say,
yes,
does this cake or this food have wine or alcohol in it?
This doesn't have wine in it. And I have to think about it. I'm like, no, it doesn't. And I'm like, oh, sober person. That's right. Of course.
And so it is Valentine's responsibility to take care of his sobriety,
right?
Or whatever he calls it. Carlos.
I know, and it's interesting because he does not refer to himself as someone who himself has a problem with alcohol. He does it for reasons of the trauma that he saw, and almost as a moral idea and an ethical idea that I don't want that for myself because I grew up in a place where my family, and there are people who don't drink alcohol for that reason.
For that 100% makes sense.
At the same time, I'm like, you can't assume when it looks just like champagne.
No, you can't assume that. And
I just thought this was ridiculous to me.
Well, and it, like you said, it is a cultural thing, but I did because even I got when Carlos said, but this is a special occasion.
Yeah, that wasn't
to
good.
me, that meant this means it's alcohol, and then he still drank it anyway.
He says, well, what Carlos said, this was to me, this is a cultural misunderstanding. When Carlos says he doesn't drink, I thought that means he doesn't get drunk. Because someone in a Latin American country, they don't understand what that means. Mm-hmm. Because even if you're in the most strict Catholicism, you drink. It's just, I can't, they would not even imagine that.
Yeah.
Unless you were a full-blown alcoholic. And I don't think Valentine has told him that he's an alcoholic. So I think it's a cultural misunderstanding. Now, could Carlos have been kinder when Valentine freaked out? Possibly.
Yeah, he kind of.
He said, "I don't feel. You made me uncomfortable."
Yeah, I mean, I thought that that's where I went. Oh, because at first, this first part of this episode, I thought, oh boy, Valentine really seems like he's just kind of wanting to bulldoze this relationship. And then I realized, oh, Carlos is going to gaslight him about everything. Because that was not a good, it's not, to me, when he said, you're meeting, he took it you're so right that one's so, at least seemingly so left brain, so right brain.
Yeah.
And Carlos says, I understand. He said, I understand that you don't drink, but you're meeting me for the first time.
Yeah.
And this is what you want to talk about. How could you do this to me? He's going to take everything so personally and hurt like a wounded dog.
He is. He will. And that's the thing. It's all emotion for him.
It's going to be great TV.
And Valentine is going to take things personally in a different way. Valentine is going to take every challenge to him that he's right or a challenge to his masculinity in a personal way.
Yeah.
And Valentine's also going to say things, I will bet you $1 million. Well, I don't have that. I'll bet you $1,000. Valentine will say the R word, which means respect. You did not respect me for this.
Yeah, I think there's probably going to be a lot of respect.
Yeah, and y'all know how I feel about that. You did not respect me.
I think maybe this might be for Carlos. This might just be, we've all had him as gay people. You kind of come out and you have
first puppy love.
I don't know if puppy love is it. You kind of have that shitty gay relationship when you don't know any better. You kind of have someone that helps kind of bring you out, makes you comfortable with it. He wants,
and then you wants want.
Valentine to come out to his sister. So it's his the gay crutch, so to speak, or whatever it is to help you.
Do you see a future for these two?
No way. I think they'll end up being...
Absolutely not.
I actually think they'll end up being friends. I think, like, 10 years down the road. And I think that Carlos will probably look at this as like...
Do you think Carlos will be able to be friends with an ex?
I don't know. We don't know how jealous he gets. It depends. But I can see him
I could see VaLentine wanting to be friends.
That's true. I think because VaLentine will take everything... He'll make things so unemotional, even if it is inside.
I'm interested to see how this goes because
Carlos, I hope he gets Jasmine level jealous. That's what I'm hoping for.
It hit me because these people love in two different ways, and I don't know if that can be reconciled.
They're gonna be. Although I will say this, I hope they're on 90 Day Fiance for a long time.
Oh, I don't think that'll happen. It'll burn out much quicker than that. It's not gonna happen. You know what the thing about Love in Paradise? A lot of these people are too crazy to be sustainable.
Unless you're Aryanna and you just can't let it go.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Now, I think we're not going to go to them next, but like the next couple, this could never be sustainable for a 90 Day Fiance. The next trio.
Yes, we're going to talk about them right when we get back.
Should we take a break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frankie, Abby, and Gabby.
Scam witch.
I mean... This is what I've decided, especially whenever Gabby, she changed her hairstyles for her testimonials.
Yeah.
She has like extensions and stuff like that, and it actually kind of shows her age more.
She is older.
I've decided that I almost, even though if it wasn't incestuous, you could tell me that this is a mother and daughter scamming someone, and I would believe it.
I swear to God, I had that thought.
That's how it feels like to me. I'm telling y'all, it's just like Heartbreakers with Sigourney Weaver and Jennifer Love Hewitt.
But she also felt like the Mexican Georgia O'Keeffe to me. It's like long phrases of, we are here. In the most beautiful place in the world, darling.
What?
I painted this for Frankie.
What?
We love him. He is huggable and chubby.
They didn't know that on the back of the painting was their lines they had written down to say in front of the camera.
And humpable.
And humpable.
He did say that. Now, there are so many threads of the sweater that are already unraveling for me.
Oh, boy.
For these two. Now,
Frankie, this guy Frankie is like on Ricky Caesar level. The stupidity of this man to just not have any idea.
He's really dumb.
Like,
unfortunately, yes.
At least when it comes to love, because he has a job and lives in a nice. But this man, oh man. No common sense to love.
We talked about before. He and his friend Rodney go to pick out rings, and the jeweler's like, and then the funniest thing is he says, "Yeah, she doesn't wear a lot of jewelry," and Rodney's like, "You saw her for 5 days." He's like, "I guess you're right." And at one point, like they're talking about, she has a she has a girlfriend, but I'm gonna still marry Abby. And the jeweler goes, "Can I show you something else?"
How do these look? 2 carats. And I think what it boils down to and why Frank, because this is the personification of what when we say we call these people lonely heart looking for love in all the wrong places. Like this is the wrongest of places. But the reason why it's happening, it all boils down to this sentence that Frankie said twice. Isn't it my time to be happy?
Oh, we've heard this,
We've heard this before. And this is someone who probably is a good person who's gone through a lot of shit. But they read some fucking self-help book that said, find your happy or whatever.
Yeah.
And now they think that means finding my happiness means completely...
It's the Molly
being
syndrome.
Oblivious to any type of reality. It's very much like it's so.
It's more extreme. It's even more extreme than Molly.
More extreme, but it's very much like a Molly where it was so. Now, granted, Molly was different because it seems
she didn't know him for a while.
Well, it seems obvious on the show why she should know, but she explained kind of in our exclusive interview in Atlanta that yes, she knew him a lot more. He does not know these people.
No. Yeah.
He's only been with them for 5 days in Puerto Vallarta.
Let me just set this up and you can draw your own
They don't
conclusions.
even live there.
No. They're from Guadalajara.
Yeah.
They're also taking a vacation. Because, remember what happens on vacation stays on vacation.
I'm telling you, This is her mom, and it's all. It is all. I think Abby knows all of this. She knows that the daughters.
You mean Gabby?
Oh,
Gabby's the mom.
Gabby's the mom. I'm just going to start calling them mother and daughter because it makes more sense to me. I think Mama Con knows that Daughter Con's doing all
Mama
this
Con
shit.
and Baby Con.
Mama Con and Baby Con. There you go. She knows Baby Con's doing all this. She knows that she's falling in love.
So it's all for the camera.
Yes, all for the camera, so that way Mama Con can get to the U.S.
We only have sex one time with them. She makes these pronouncements.
Yes, it's very presentational. That's how it felt.
It is very Wiccan priestess vibes she's got. So later on, they're on the beach in Puerto Vallarta because they're going to meet him. And Gabby's like, I have made a painting for our Frankie.
Yes. And as she's painting, she's like, I loved how I watched.
He is a cuddly bear.
I loved how I would watch him kiss you and hold you.
I want to smell him.
It made me grin when he gave you the pleasure. And the thing is, y'all, it's not like she's not translating. She's speaking this in Spanish.
She is.
Yes. Also, I think Mama Con is fluent in English, and she's playing dumb because she's going to act like Baby Con.
We have a lot of conspiracy theories about this.
I'm the one with the tin hat on this one.
So, y'all, Abby is in her confessional saying she has no idea that we're in love, garbage. And Gabby also says, we have had threesomes, but they are all passing. The man flow into the ocean as crabs do.
And then we say...
We should have done this as a theater.
Yeah.
Goodbye. I know what this woman says.
Goodbye. We say goodbye. Fare thee well, men. But not this one. This one took.
And Gabby says, we know it's all fun, and Frankie will go back to the U.S. to live out the rest of his days.
Because think about it. I'm going to get real. And they're looking at Frankie. Y'all, Frankie is not in the prime.
He's not young.
He's not young.
He is not in the best shape of his life.
He's not in the best shape of his life. He is not even overweight. He is very obese.
Yes.
So, and I only point that out because if you're a con, and I know because I do a podcast with this slut, I know that you're thinking, I'm going to marry this guy, and he's either going to be basically out of the picture or dead in 10 years.
You got to find him where you'd only have to like push him over the edge.
By the time
it's better that
I
way.
get my green card, he'll be done soon.
Amen.
I really believe that these. I'm telling you, y'all.
You know what?
I've convinced you.
It's not a bad con.
Yeah.
No, I thought there was a fleeting thought. I'm like, that could be her mother.
Yeah.
Or some older lesbian that she got with her, some older
because
bi
I know
woman.
She says she's only 10 years old, but I don't believe any of it. I don't believe their ages. I don't believe their names.
I also don't believe they have chemistry.
No. Yeah. They don't seem like lovers to me.
Yeah.
Their names aren't Gabby and Abby. You're right. Bullshit.
Even the names sound made up.
All fake. It's all fake.
This is tinfoil hat, but I'm kind of believing it. So it turns out that Gabby is very upset because she can't really speak English, and Abby and Frankie talk all the time, and it really bothers her.
She doesn't know what's going on.
This sets up perfectly for the murder, how Gabby murders Frankie.
Yes. And it makes sense, like you said, that Mama Con is such a poet. She's probably very well read, and she's read a lot of murder mystery novels, so she was able to concoct this plan.
Yes, it's like diabolique.
Yes, she is the Jessica Fletcher of Puerto Vallarta.
So, she's insecure because Abby is always talking to Frankie on the phone. Nothing wrong there. So it's this extreme, like, Shakespearean dramatic irony that they're saying. Gabby's like, I often feel neglected in this relationship, but I'm sure she would never do anything to me.
And then when Abby, she says, we find out that she said, I've gotten myself into a mess, but my plan is that I want to get Mama Con, Gabby, to the
I want to marry Frankie.
Marry Frankie.
And get Gabby to the U.S.
as well.
And I went, how's that going to happen?
Because it's going to come out. She'll say, can I bring my mother to the U.S.?
But then she would have to tell Frankie that was actually her mother.
He'll be into it by then.
Okay, see, I think that's off the rails. I don't think they would ever give that away.
They're probably not.
Wait, so you would think if they're having a threesome, you think the girl would have sex with her mother?
They don't. I don't think
touch
they
each other.
No, it is all about y'all. I'm telling you, he lays there and they just pleasure him and they spoil him. They talk about he's like fucking Bacchus, like some Greek god just sitting there with these women fawning all over him, feeding him grapes.
And the other thing I thought is it going to be one thing I thought is it going to be Abby marries him and then they convince Gabby to be his adopted. They're going to adopt her.
Probably.
So it's like adults adopting adults.
Yes.
So another show that show had to be taken off because it had horrible, awful people on it. But I'm agog at this storyline. Absolutely agog.
Y'all, like we said in our live show, I know I if you want to wait for it, wait, but you can share like 5 things on Discovery Plus. I don't know, maybe buy it, give it to your mom, other people. Tell them to give you money for it because this show is so good.
Shall we move on to? I said this to you today in the airport. I think this person is going to wind up being the big shit stirrer, and she's going to go absolutely fucking ape by the end of the season. And that's Daniele.
She's already getting
Yohan.
there. Look.
But I'm saying I think she's going to have legendary meltdowns.
I think so too. I'm already into spirituality. I talk about the universe. Poodle does sometimes too. We're from fucking California. But this woman, again, it's that I'm all about faith. But blind faith, meaning faith that not just knowing it's going to work out, but seeing all the signs and just saying my faith is more important. It's the same type of thing with Frankie. I just want to be happy.
Yeah, she's using Aoife, her faith, as a crutch instead of actually participating in her life.
Literally, her faith told her this is going to be a hard relationship to navigate. And said you're dating a womanizer.
Okay, so she goes to see Baba, who is extremely handsome spiritual advisor.
He's very handsome.
And she's told him about.
And I like that he was very New York. Like it's kind of like my. You just have these like my Chinese herb doctor or Chinese medicine doctor. His name is Majid, and so I went. I expect like this like. Very
you expected an Indian man or something like
and
that.
I walk in, he's like, "What's up, bro?"
Yes.
And so that's just what I love, that the difference in that. But he was hot, and so they do this religious ceremony. So
he shakes up some nuts and then throws them on the floor, throws the chain. Now this is very, very common. You'll see this done in voodoo stuff where they'll take a chain, or even in Creole religions where so in voodoo it's chicken bones, where you let something fall. But and a lot of Haitian culture and Creole culture, there's kind of like seeing signs and readings and things like that. Now he tells her, says he's a flirter.
Now, look,
no shit. Tell us something we don't know.
Yeah, that's what like. No dog. I'm not talking about the
resort.
religion. I'm just talking about it doesn't take an act of faith to see this person works at a fucking resort.
And he does say
fucking Patrick Swayze.
There's gonna be tension with an ex, and he's a womanizer. And he looks right at Danielle and says, "Is this gonna be an issue?" And her face is already spasming. She's like,
"Yeah,
probably."
Yes, and then
she's losing her fucking mind.
I was watching this in an airport, and so he first said, what I heard was he said, "Take away the penis," and I went, "What?" But he said peanuts. And so
you can't eat peanuts.
But her reaction was like he said peanuts because she went, "I eat peanuts.
But I eat peanut butter all the time." Now, he tells her she said the way he says is, take to the river.
Yeah, he does say
There's plant a banana tree, put eggs around the tree and fruit that will tame his straying. And then she's like, I like to make offerings. It's kind of like you're like buttering the gods up to like the little treats, and then they do things for you. And I'm thinking that is the most self-centered way of thinking about this possible.
Yeah, and look, I'm telling y'all, planting a tree with fruit is not going to make him less of a womanizer.
Agree.
Now, will it make her feel better about it?
And I think
it will.
I'm kind of okay if she went all in with this,
it's her faith.
I feel like it's like how some people. I have a friend who's a psychic, and she's on like a hotline, and she says 9 out of 10 people want them to tell you things they already know.
Yeah,
and they want you to tell them, so they're feeling good about what they're already doing.
Mm-hmm.
They already know what they're going to do, and they want you to tell them what they are, that they're right.
Yeah.
And that's all they want.
Yeah.
And so that's what she needs. That's what, to me, it's not the fact that faith exactly is the problem. It is how she is using it.
I 100% think that the way that what I see this as, she is using her faith as an avoidance to deal with her anxiety
100%.
and her emotions. And
100%.
And we see this when she travels there, because y'all, she travels there, she gets there. They see each other. She jumps in his arm. I love that Yohan does this. I thought she was a bruja. He thought she was a witch. When
I
he
would
first
assume the same.
And so, because I think he's at least talking about God. And I think maybe he might be Christian.
I think he's religious because he's talked about if God wants us to have a baby, we will.
Yeah.
It'll be a miracle.
Feels more like
milagro.
Christian.
Yeah.
Now,
what he does say, you're so white. And I wrote down, God, he is strikingly hot.
He's very beautiful. Oh. You can see his dick in those shorts.
You can.
And y'all, I paused
it's an arm.
because I thought, oh, is that the end of it? No, went down about 4 more inches than I thought.
It's an arm.
She's right, y'all. She is not making this up. It's an arm.
So then we're clearing the energy.
Nicolo! I'm still going to use it.
That's the dick going up inside you.
That cough's gone now.
Ooh, it soothed my
Thank
throat.
you. You got something out of my throat.
Your cock soothed my throat.
Thank you. Yes, so I have to say, I know it's probably terrible, but when she was unpacking and that rose quartz fell to the ground, that's when you heard. That's when you heard me, I think, laugh on a plane because I was watching it. That was so fucking funny.
This is a sign. It means that maybe my marriage is unsteady. No, it means you need better hand-eye coordination, bitch.
But in a way, this is what she needed, because now when and if this relationship goes sour, this is going to be the ammunition that she needs to self-sabotage herself.
Exactly.
Because there was a sign.
Exactly.
Because we see what she's doing in this room. Y'all, I think this is beyond faith. I'm just going to I think this is crazy behavior. This having to sage everything, and every time you see someone in the hotel room, there's a difference.
Saging her feet, saging him.
Yes, there's a different of a devout faith. And I'll say that because we see this, and then we get to the dinner.
Well, it's practiced out of desperation, too.
Yeah, and it's because we get to the dinner.
She sets up her altar, y'all, and I just need to say, she puts those candles right on that wood, and I screamed.
Oh, so
Can
disrespectful of this
imagine?
place. But I just want to, we can go back and piece it, but I just want to say the point is the reason I say that is because she goes to this dinner where she has, honestly, a pretty realistic conversation about how they probably shouldn't have a kid yet.
Yes.
And then cut to the end of this episode where she's like, let's do another spiritual ceremony and get knocked up.
Well, I have a theory on that.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying, that she uses her faith to delve out of her emotions.
100%.
That's all.
Y'all, she does not want a baby. Let's be clear. This is like Josh from Josh and Ica, who said, yeah, sure, I'll do this. Y'all, they're telling you in every way, she's telling you out of the words out of her mouth are, I don't know if I'll be able to we need to start right now. And then she's basically saying, So, but if we have a baby, that means you need to change and you need to make a lot more money. And he's hearing that as that's going to change my whole plan. Because this guy does not want to change his lifestyle. Because why would you?
No, because he has an amazing life. I think, not to sound too heady about it, but I think her conscious mind is saying, I want to have a baby, but subconsciously
Nope,
under that.
not at all.
But that's what it is. This woman has no awareness.
Yeah. Which is strange because that's her whole thing. Her faith is supposed to bring her into.
She thinks she has all this awareness. She has no idea who she is. She has no idea what she wants.
No, this woman is, we talked about, even more so than she seems the most together to be on the show.
Oh.
And 90 Day Fiancé loves to do this to us. That's why I'm saying this woman's going to have the biggest meltdowns.
Yeah.
Now, she's also the one who I feel would stay on the show longer if she could and would be very divisive.
Oh, I would totally love to see her on the single life.
Me too.
It'd be like seeing Natalie date.
And I think there will be some people who understand her and who understand her seeker kind of nature.
I understand that.
I think she's full of shit. Personally, I think this woman is completely full of shit. You're exactly right. She doesn't know where she is.
She doesn't know she's full of shit.
And the weirdest part about it is how self-righteous she is with him about, I agree with you, it was an adult conversation, but the way she does it, and she says, the way she says it is just like a female version of Big Ed in some ways. Because she says, well, you know what? I'm paying for this whole thing, which is annoying because I really work hard to get my money.
Yeah, that would really...
And y'all, she shows herself as the gross American that we all see on this show.
Yeah.
Because the idea, the two issues she links here are, I'm paying for all this and I work really hard for my money, which implies he doesn't, because he lives on an island and works at a resort.
He probably works a lot.
I totally agree with you. But
I'm saying like
for her,
but it's a fun job for him.
She thinks he like breaks coconuts all day,
yes,
and gives them to tourists. And teaches dance, and she thinks he lives in paradise and doesn't know what the real world is. She doesn't know what the fucking real world is.
She doesn't know, and also too, y'all.
I do not like this woman. Sorry if I'm being hard on her, but I do not like.
Oh,
this
I love
woman.
her on my TV. But just because you work hard, that doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. You're the one that, and she's going to escape any type of responsibility from anything she can. So it's this idea of you work hard, but you choose to spend your money on him. So why is it
you chose it all.
Why are you conflating that he doesn't respect that you work hard when you're the one that chose to spend your hard-earned money?
Exactly.
Wasn't his choice.
And he's never going to make the same amount of money you do, because of where he lives.
And he's going to have to do a lot of things to get to that if he wanted to.
And then she starts equivocating. She's like, maybe we can live in two places. And then she's like, well, if we're going to live in New York and here, you have to, and have a baby, we're going to have a whole lot more money. So you better start earning it, because I can't pay any more. And then we're totally in gross American territory.
Yes, because then she gets on to him about the suit. Now, granted, we don't know enough about him. Does he not? Could she have a point and he is not super fiscally responsible or doesn't really even care?
True.
That could be true because he lives on a beach. But again, we're getting back to now with because who else is from? But I forget all where they're from. But with like Chantel and Pedro, with DeVar and Melanie. Yeah. This is a cultural thing that I work and give a lot of my money to my family.
That's probably true. As well as this is now getting into the Americans who have money, and it's all about a thing is, you're taking all my money from me, and my money is my money, and I will give it to you as I see fit. And I feel disrespected when I use all my money, and you should be paying for this. And it's just the economics are not realistic to do that.
No, you just have to do that. I've been in a relationship for a long time. There's been time where my partner's made more money than me. I make more than him. You help each other out. And anytime I feel the Mar in me that wants, because that's been many of a divorce in the Mar, all of the whole family's money shit. I always ask myself, if I feel resentful, I'll go, wait a minute, who decided for me to like give somebody money for this? I did. Not anybody else. I did. And it's cause she's going to crash and burn and I'm going to love it.
So y'all, then they're going to do some sex magic.
Yes.
And
which is funny because having you talk, don't you have rituals for whenever, or did this make you go, wait,
I was like, that's
maybe
some good
I need
ideas.
maybe I need to get into Ifa.
No,
because
my shit's a lot freakier than this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They didn't even get into the eyes wide shut part.
Oh, wow. do you put anything under their tongue?
I played the fifth.
Okay.
Because the bunny mask hasn't even come out yet.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, wow.
I want to say one thing where she's talking about manifestation, and that's when she puts the candles on the wood that made me want to scream, and his body, and she's like, we've got a baby to make. And immediately I just felt like this is all a power dynamic, and she's getting off on it.
And they literally, an hour later, just had the conversation that he's not ready to have kids.
It's all for her. We saw this before, y'all. This is shades of Emily and her like black lover that she wants wants to kind of dominate.
Yeah.
It feels like that to me.
I feel like that too.
Can we go into someone a little more fun, but not for a different reason? Because the most clueless bitch in the world.
No.
She needs more friends.
Here's the deal. So, like, here's my thing. We're going to talk about Aryanna and Sherlon. With Aryanna,
you didn't know.
Like, it's different than, like, she doesn't, where you just brought up Daniele and, like, equated her to Emily. Ariana doesn't have that at all.
I totally agree. Not at all.
Honestly, like, I couldn't be around her voice a lot because of the way she speaks. But, like, I think Ariana is part of this breaks my heart because I think she's a decent person who just fucked a guy on a bang trip and got pregnant, and she's now like, I think you said,
so delusional.
She's so delusional because she's trying to heal some type of trauma or something.
Yes. By the way, I finally figured out who she is for me, and it clicked, and it made it all work for me. She is a Jerry Springer guest. She's like, I met my husband. I met Sherlon on the beach, and everything is kind of delivered in this way. I met Sherlon on the beach, and he doesn't know he's coming here today because we're going to talk about our relationship.
We're going to talk about our relationship.
It's delivered in that stilted two-camera way
Yes.
because she's a terrible actor.
She is.
She can't deliver copy at all.
She cannot.
Don't hire Aryanna to do advertisements for your sporting goods store.
No.
I met Sherlon, and I was pregnant a week after.
She'd probably be great for like a Richard Siskel Chevrolet in New Jersey or wherever she's from to do a commercial.
Siskel?
I don't know. I just made up a name.
She's from Illinois, Quincy.
Oh, Quincy.
I just know that because that's what my Aunt
Just
Jane
with
used
her
to call
makeup
her
and everything,
vagina.
she looks like a Jersey housewife. The way she does her makeup, so
She does,
much,
yeah.
and the eyelashes, which were ridiculous.
Have you ever heard someone call a Quincy their vagina?
No,
That's what my Aunt Jane calls it.
really.
I don't know why I know that, but it is.
Oh,
So
that's. I just want to say that my heart goes out to her in this way, in one way, but then on the other way, it's just.
But the thing is,
Should know by now.
our hands have gone out to her.
But no, literally, she's seen it. She was able to watch an entire She got a gift that a lot of us don't get in life.
A whole season.
We're able to. Not a lot of us are able to watch ourselves and go, "Wow, can't believe I acted that way."
She saw it.
She saw it.
I don't have a lot of sympathy anymore.
So that's what I'm saying. Like that is less than last season, but man.
So what we're talking about, if you don't know, is that, you know what? I think this just needs to be an episode of Reality Gaze Theater.
Let's set it up. So she's with. So she's gonna FaceTime Sherlon with that cute fucking baby.
Cute
Odin.
baby.
That baby's so
Odin,
looks
baby
just
Odin.
like his dad.
Yep.
Such a cute baby. So they're going to talk. And she said, Odin, you ready to talk to Dad? They're going to Jamaica next week. They haven't been back for a year with COVID and all that kind of stuff. And before this, Sherlon says, he's only in his testimony. Like, anytime he talks about if Sherlon has a smile on his face when he's talking to the camera, he only is talking about the kid.
Yeah.
He's like, it's hard to be away from him, blah, 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 blah. So he wants to wake up beside him every day. And that's kind of the setup. So cut to...
We're video chatting.
We're doing a video chat here. Poodle's going to be playing the role of... Again, I don't know what phone sounds like that.
Skype.
Yeah. Poodle's going to be playing the role of...
I'll play Aryanna and probably Odin occasionally.
Sure. Okay,
Baby
great.
Odin.
Okay, great.
And you'll be... Hey, Daddy. What are you doing, Daddy?
Oh,
we're waiting on you. My baby. Look at this
Oh,
guy.
look at my... I'm
He
not
looks
going to do
just like
Sherlon's
you.
accent because that would be
He looks
problematic.
just like you, Daddy.
Oh, look at my boy.
Aren't you
Look
excited
at my
to see
boy.
Odin? Aren't you excited to see
I'm
Odin?
so excited to see you. I'm going to see you. Every day I see you, son, I'm going to see you. I'm going to love you. I'm going to hug on you.
Are
I'm
you
going to
excited to
kiss
see
you.
me? Are you excited to see me?
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Crickets from outside. Cheep, 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 cheep.
What? Sorry, bad connection. You know this internet. Oh, look at my boy, though. Look how cute that baby is. What a cute baby.
Say,
yeah.
You're always talking.
Yes, honey.
You're always
Yeah.
talking about
Ari,
Odin and how much you love
Oh,
Odin.
I love that
You
boy.
never say
Light
that
of my
you're
life.
interested in seeing me.
What's on your
Did
eyelashes?
something break up?
What's on your eye? Yeah, I think there's a spider on your eye. Oh, that's it.
Oh, God.
That's it.
Wait,
I'm
wait,
sorry.
wait.
What did you say? Couldn't hear you.
I just want you to appreciate me in a relationship. This is this is baby Odin.
Ari.
Girl, get a clue.
My son talks. I didn't know.
And change me while I'm at it because you'll be full of shit soon. Girl,
Mama, I just
open
pissed.
your eyes.
Honey, he's talking. Can you hear him?
No, I only hear you ignoring me. Don't you want a relationship with me, Sherlon? The baby is proof that you love me.
Can you just put the baby to bed and I'll show you my dick?
Totally fuck somebody and not love them, Mama.
What? Do you not hear that, Ari? Ari, do you hear it? I'm just going to show you my dick again. And scene.
Yo, even baby Odin knows this is not going to work.
Everybody knows. It's just like that song. Everybody but me. Everybody knows.
She is infinitely frustrating for
Knows.
me. I just can't get over how...
He did. Sherlon says, "What do you want me to say? I appreciate you, brah.
Bruh, like, y'all, he called her bruh.
I appreciate you, brah." And she's like, I hope you appreciate a relationship with me as well. Oh. And Sherlon is like,
He's like, he's like, well, let's take things one thing at a time. And he keeps saying, I've known her for several
he said, I've only known her on
weeks."
vacation. And
On
he
vacation.
said, and he said to in his testimony, he said, I'm not sure if I want to be committed. I know that sounds selfish. And I actually said,
Oh,
that actually doesn't sound selfish.
He is the most honest person on this show.
Not anymore. Like, if he didn't seem like he was trying, I kind of was hard on him earlier because I thought, at least from what we're seeing, I thought he's not going to have any interest. I think I said last episode, he's not going to care about this kid's life at all.
Yeah.
I'm backing that up a little bit because right now he seems to be showing us that he does. Now, do I think he's probably ever going to pay like child support or anything? He's fuckboy.
Yeah.
Like, no. So I don't think that's going to happen. But I don't think, at least from what we've seen so far, he's being selfish. If y'all watch season 1, he tries to be, you see him go through this physical manifestation of seeing her, trying to do it, and then it's not a
He's got
repulsion,
the
but he's
icks.
just not into her.
It's not even a full ick, but he's not into her.
And
That's it.
it's both of their responsibility to raise a child, not to be in a relationship.
It's like Baby Odin says, you can fuck someone without loving them.
You can. You can.
And just because you have a baby with someone,
I mean, maybe
does not mean you have to be together.
Maybe he's telling different things to her that we're not seeing in the edit. Because Ari says at the end, I can't continue to put my life on hold for someone who can't make up their mind. And I went,
I don't. That's the thing.
It's like she wants him to say the words, I don't want to have a relationship with you.
That's what she wants.
And so maybe he needs to be clearer.
I
but
think
it just
he does,
seems so clear.
But for anyone else, it would be painfully obvious. Also, Sherlon doesn't want to be the bad guy.
He does. He's a fuckboy. He does not want to. So I can see why she could feel when I think about him, you're right. When I think about him never wanting to be the bad guy,
it makes sense.
It does make sense.
Yo, that's the show.
That's Lip. Oh, it's going to be a great season.
This is our last free episode. Yo, come see us in Minneapolis tomorrow night.
Come see us in Minneapolis. You can join our Patreon or our Supercast at the $5 tier, and you will get all the episodes of Love in Paradise. You'll get season 1 as well. You'll also get Classless, our Classless 90-Day Fiancé, as well as any of our binges. So Love is Blind. I always want to say The Untouchables, but it's The Ultimatum, Ultimatum. What else is on the $5? Something else on the $5. Our Bi-Curious. Single Life, our Bi-Curious episodes.
Bi-Curious, weekly, monthly Bi-Curious
I
episodes.
have to say this. Single Life, I don't think it's the same for you, but Single Life and Love in Paradise are my favorite 90-day iterations.
Not Single Life.
I love Single Life.
And
it's the messiest of messy.
I still love Before the 90 above all else. That is the top of my pantheon.
I get it, but I will just say they're getting me with this streaming content, Matt Sharp.
God, last season of B90 was so good.
It was good. All right, everybody, that's the show. Go to 90 Days, or 90 Days. Oh, go to realitygaze.com.
Reality Gaze. That's for our live show tickets.
To buy live, or go to our Linktree link in our Instagram. Thank you, Ohio, Detroit. So far, we've had a great time. We're excited from Minneapolis, Phoenix, and our Pride show in San Francisco.
Open your golden gate and fuck me.
Wow, we got to end this. All right, everybody. We call these people lonely hearts because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love in all the wrong places? Boo.
Yes. And if you want to go sailing out on the ocean with myself, Frankie, and my daughter, Lover, with the jellyfish bobbing along, and who are also poisonous, call us.